work on that. Another thing I'll say is if that's some of your expertise, offer it up. Sacrifice and an offering to the Lord. Help us to improve what we're trying to do. So one of the things that many of you heard me say over and over again is I really had no real intentional focus on anybody outside of this church. So as long as we've been a church, I've said, look, we just need to focus on who we are and what we're about and where we're going. The mission is to reach people. There's no mistake about that. But we've got to figure out who we are first and what we believe and what Jesus called us to before we do that. And so we're just now entered into the season where we want to get real intentional about focusing on people who are in this gathering. And so a part of that is improving some of those things. We're going to be working on some leadership college stuff, some development of some of you guys as we are trying to equip the missionaries that are here at One Church. And so I've got a couple of announcements this morning for you as we prepare to go into the month of December. Number one is we're not going to do any food ministry in the month of December. We just want to give everybody that's been cooking and serving and everything else off. So enjoy the holiday season. If you're hungry after service, there's a couple of restaurants around here. Either bring a snack pack. I'm not saying you got to go home. You want to bring some Lunchables or something and hang out. Well, whatever that looks like, we just want to give those who've been faithfully serving the month off in the month of December. I'm also asking that we would start a 31 days of prayer starting in December. So December 1st through the 31st. 31 days of prayer. Can we do that? Yeah. I feel like we've done all kinds of like crazy fasting here. We've done so much as a church. I'm like, can y'all pray too? But here's the thing, guys, if I'm real honest. If there's something that even I personally struggle with, it's probably prayer. Prayer is probably my greatest weakness. And it's probably maybe one of the greatest strengths. But where you get caught up is just depending on yourself, right? Just doing things, living life on your own. And I mean, I don't want you to get me wrong. I pray every single day throughout the day. But it is so important and so powerful. I know I need to do much more, especially given my role. And so I want us as a church to fully embrace the significance of prayer, not just for what it produces, like, oh, God's going to answer my prayer, but the intimacy, the opportunity to talk to God, the opportunity to hear from God, the opportunity just to even be in His presence. So I know that prayer is a challenge. Anybody raise their hand? Okay, so I got some company, all right? I'm not talking to her. Oh, I thought it was maybe just me. No, I knew it wasn't just me. But we all are challenged with prayer. And so what I want us to do over the next 31 days, if you would commit with me to say over the next 31 days, we're going to pray every day, but also 3 times a day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you're not eating, maybe you don't eat lunch or breakfast, I don't know. You still need to pray during that time. I just don't want to give any specific like times, like okay, 7 in the morning, 12, whatever works for you. A ton of freedom here. I just want us to say, I'm going to intentionally spend time with God. That means you've got to discipline yourself on making the schedule. So you come up with the times that you're going to pray. You decide on your own, here are the 3 times a day I'm going to pray. I'm not even saying how long you need to pray. Doesn't matter. If you don't even know how to pray, would you pray about that? Amen. So if you are disappointed in God and you feel like He hasn't done some of what you wanted Him to do in 2023, could you talk to Him about that? If you're disappointed and upset with how this year has gone, Would you tell them about it? See, we've made prayer something that was never intended to be about. It's our opportunity to talk to our Father. Trust me, He's big enough to handle whatever we bring in prayer, because He already knows it. So if you just pray, if you set a calendar and say at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to pray, and you do that, and your prayer time is 30 seconds, you've successfully done what I'm asking you to do. It's just to say 3 times a day for the next 31 days, I'm going to intentionally go to God in prayer. I'm going to give Him what I got. Because some of the issues, I know this is part of my big issue.
I can't even
because I feel like I want my prayer time to be greater than what it is. Anybody want miraculous prayer time? Like, I'm just being real honest with you. I want to pray, and I want to go like in a private place, and when I like close the door, I want to enter into heaven. And I just kind of want to sit there and just have this conversation with God. I don't even have to do all the talking. I desire to hear. I want to know. What do you want to do? Tell me. I want to hear. And then I like to come back out,
down there.
and get back down and realize to do that. And because my prayer time isn't like that, it discourages me.
I've only played with this right here.
But it's also a hindrance and a barrier.
I have some.
And God doesn't want it.
Picking it up from here.
He's invited us. If we're ever going to get to any type of reality like that, we got to start where we are. So offer up what you have. If you feel like you don't know how to pray, start there. If you don't know what to say, tell Him that. If you're upset and frustrated, give Him that. Whatever it is, offer it up to Him 3 times a day for the next 31 days. And you're going to keep doing that as a family.
So I did.
Amen. Thank you. And then I'm sure this is the beauty of leading this church in partnership with Pastor Tommy is, as I'm like giving you that, I'm sure Pastor Tommy will be able to give you some.
It's not connected because you're on
Because some
Wi-Fi.
of you want some things to pray about.
On this.
Like, well, what should I pray about? I'm
This
sure Pastor
isn't
Tommy will
connected.
give you some. Here's some things that you can actually pray about during those times. And that'll be good too, but I don't want to give you
It shouldn't
any
be on
form
Wi-Fi.
of.
It should be on the front run
I
Wi-Fi.
definitely don't want you to feel like, here's what I'm supposed to do. I want you pouring out your heart. And if Pastor Tommy gives something, hopefully it's guide you towards that time of talking to God. Amen? All right, we're going to have a missionary class. Our missionary class is,
When I
if
tried to
you
plug
have
it
been coming to this
on the
church
side,
and you feel like you want it to become your home church, you want to
everything
belong
goes
to
black.
the
So
church,
is
you want
this
to become
USB hub
a missionary.
connected to this?
We don't have vendors,
Yes.
we have missionaries.
So technically, I should
If
still
you want
be
to become a
selected.
missionary here at this church, we're going to
I
have
could
a
just
class
unplug this
that's
from
going
the
to
other
be
and plug
on
it in there.
December
Yeah.
10th, right after service. December 10th, right after service. Sign up at the Let's Get table. That's that table on your left as you exit through the doors. Also, if you are already a missionary here, raise your hand if you've already joined this church. Okay. Keep your hands raised. If your hands are raised and you have not filled out
Don't ask him to
this
stop
survey
the
over
stuff,
here,
man.
it's the information to say, I belong here. We want to gather all of our people's information. You put your head down. Thank you. So please scan that QR code or shoot that clock in front of you.
No, it's got power.
Scan that. We just want to get all of our people's information. And then the other thing is
That
there's
USB
a
hub that needs to
baptism
be
class.
replaced.
You need to be
Powered
baptized.
USB hub.
Figuring out, hey, I want to surrender my life. I want to do.
Will that fix everything?
Baptism.
No, but it'll
That class is going
narrow
to be
it down.
December
It will.
17th.
Thank you.
Okay, December 10th, December 17th is the class. And also,